Friends, hello. Let's make a nice little calm video here. Sorry for the late video. I just got back from a 6-year-old's soccer game in the cold, dark night. I am over it. Let's talk about Palantir and Sofi. What's going on here? So, obviously, I don't think it's crazy to say right now that everyone is just eating up the Sofi and Palantir craze that is going on right now. It is completely just pretty much, in the zeitgeist of the top 10, top 5 stocks that everyone is looking at, buying, trading, and just, building a position in. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is not a video where I'm going to talk about, you need to not be in this or not. I'm completely bullish on both these stocks. Now, Palantir, how I feel about Palantir, I think even at $40, $45, you should still be buying Palantir, because I'm not looking at next year. For me personally, this is what I'm doing. I bought Palantir yesterday. I bought Palantir today on the dip. I bought more of it, not a lot, but I just buy a little more. I'm holding Palantir for the next 5 to 10 years. I'm really curious to see where Palantir is going to go. I think we are about to go in the biggest AI boom that we have ever seen in the history of mankind, in the history of humans, the stock market, everything. I don't think we have seen what is coming. Even just, the dot-com bubble back then, I think we're about to see something even bigger. And obviously, we had a really big push in AI this year in the stock market. AI's pretty much controlled the stock market here this year. But I think what is coming is going to be even bigger, because NVIDIA is gearing up for a huge run. Tesla is going to, eventually people are going to catch on to what's going on over at Tesla. Microsoft, Meta, AMD, all these chip companies. I mean, I could go down the list. But, Palantir is still a very affordable stock for what it's going to be, for what we know it's going to be. Even a Palantir, let's just say in a crazy thought here that Palantir, and I guess we're talking about Palantir, so let's talk about Palantir. Even if Palantir comes out with these quarterlies here that we know they're going to be good. The question is how good are they? Even if they came out just moderate, like let's say they just came out like, okay, well, they met quarterlies and, they made 10% on top of what analysts thought they were going to make. Okay, that's not, we were hoping for more, but obviously, this is what we're left with. And, you're seeing a lot of articles like this right now where, everyone's asking the question, is Palantir too expensive at $43? And most articles that you're going to find right now are, completely drinking the juice of Palantir. I mean, they are all saying, Palantir is a stock you need to be holding. And I do believe that. I 100% believe that. And I don't want to talk about this too long because I've said this so many times, but one key element that you need to realize right now is that Alex Karp, like I said, here I go, but I'm not going to talk about long, I promise. Alex Karp has been coming out with these interviews here. He came out with a handful here just a month or so ago. And essentially in those interviews, I really believe he was leaving a breadcrumb trail for investors. Obviously, he can't just directly come out and say like, hey, I've seen the quarterlies. Hey, I know what's coming here in a few months deal-wise that you don't even know about. Hey, next year, we've got this thing we're going to release. Hey, we're working on a huge contract over here that, we should sign X date. He can't come out and just say those things because the FCC will, throw him in prison essentially. So, but he was giving hints of like, hey, there's things going on right now with Palantir that are huge. We're undervalued, and A of all, we have no competition. There's things going on right now that are going to push this company into the next realm. Not to mention, we're going on the S&P 500. So this is why you're seeing Palantir, become a very expensive stock rapidly here. So on November 4th, we will have the next quarterly here with Palantir. And the question is, what is this quarterly going to look like? Is this going to be, like mine, face melting quarterly where we're like 20, 30, 40, I don't know, 40, that's really pushing it, but could be. And maybe that's the hint that Alex is giving here, at 40%, maybe they're going to beat quarterlies by 40% of what they're estimated to. That's very possible. Why couldn't it happen? We've seen these AI companies, tech companies, AI, what do you want to call them here? I'm just throwing them all together. We've seen them just do what they want to. I mean, January of this year, who would have thought Nvidia would have done what they've done in the last 10 months? No one. Everyone would have argued with you. They would have been like, there's no way they're going to do, those numbers in each quarterlies. Plus, we've already had a stock split with them this year, and the stock is probably going to start running here crazy hard within the next 6 months. And it doesn't matter who the president's going to be. It's going to run. It's going to run really hard. They're about to come out with this new chip they have. So the process is going to start all over again. And AI is going to be in the air. It's going to be FOMO. It's going to be no one wants to miss out. And, they don't even know what NVIDIA is. They don't know what they've done, and they're just going to buy it up. The same thing is going to happen with Palantir here. As Palantir continues to become a more popular stock, and this has been the biggest year. Last year was big with Palantir. I was talking about the same conversation I'm having right now. I was having this conversation last year. My personal friends in my life, I was like, dude, you need to be buying Palantir. You need to be buying Palantir. You need to understand what is going on right now with this company and what's coming down the pipeline. I'm still drinking the juice, and I'm still saying the same thing. It hasn't stopped. Like, Palantir hasn't tapped out here. And the thing about this, too, is like, Alex Karp wouldn't have come out with these big interviews, these very professional interviews, by the way. Like, these weren't just like he was on his phone like, hey, guys, just want to touch base with you. No, these were meant to establish something. He was telling us something. He knows what's coming. He's trying to warn you, like, hey, something big's coming here with Palantir. Get ready. Put your seatbelt on. We're going to space. There is no ceiling where we're going here. That's how I look at it. And I've said this 1,000 times. I think I believe in my heart, with being in the stock market as long as I have now, in the crypto market, is that you have to be a little bit like Sherlock Holmes. You have to be a detective. You have to search things. You have to, put this together, that together, look this up, put that there, look what they said here. And you'll start to find the breadcrumbs of what is going on. And we're following the breadcrumbs here. And I think we're about to be very happy with what's coming on here. About to come out here with these quarterlies. So, friends, I'm still buying Palantir, and it sold off today. Thank God it sold off. Look at it as opportunity. When a stock falls, people go like, Pff. I immediately see a comment come up where somebody's like, Pff. Well, it just dropped 5%. Okay, great. It just ran 25% the past 2 weeks. Like, what? I'm sorry you got late. You're late to the game here, but we're still doing good here. All right, touch base on Sofi here. So Sofi is a company that I'm bullish on. I'm still 100% bullish on. Obviously, we just had this huge contract. This is the biggest thing that ever happened to Sofi, guaranteed. This is news that Sofi needed, on top of the already good news this year with rate cuts. And we're still going to hear more about rate cuts here very soon, I'm sure, what's going on. But and on top of that too, just 2 weeks away here, people are going to start voting here. They already have in Georgia. Tomorrow, I think North Carolina opens up, some other states. So early voting has started. But on top of that, it's funny because a lot of the companies right now, a lot of big companies are going to be reporting earnings here these next 2 weeks and the beginning of November, right when like all this election stuff is going on. So it's kind of just, it's weird how it's all falling into place here. But the 29th of October here, Sofi will be reporting their earnings. Now, we expect there's no reason these earnings should be bad. So that's not really on the table. This isn't a situation, and just like Palantir, this isn't a situation where both these companies, where we're not going like, man, I really hope they beat their quarterly or make a good, that's not being said. Like, no one is expecting that. And once again, too, I say this, Sofi, the CEO of Sofi, had an interview probably about 4 or 5 months ago at this point, and he was essentially saying the same thing, like, hey, things are going really good at Sofi. And he said it too, now that I'm thinking about it. He said, like, we've got a lot of things coming up, a lot of big things. Well, look, how long do you think this Sofi $1 billion investment deal is going on? How long do you think that they've been working on that? Probably for 6 months. When that interview was going on, that he did, where he said, essentially he was leaving breadcrumbs. So that's essentially what I'm saying with Alex. These CEOs know things so far in advance, but obviously they can't just come out and tell you. I mean, that's why, Elon was in trouble, years back when he would come out and say things about Tesla, and like the FCC was like, whoa, dude, you can't say that. You can't tell people to buy your stock and all this because, X this and that. It's the same kind of concept. But the stock chart on SoFi here, SoFi's holding $10 right here. And this is really interesting because SoFi has struggled to even, hold $8 here. But the last time we saw SoFi at $10, it didn't hold it long. Now, obviously, it's trying to get back to a $9 range. And analysts, which is crazy enough, are still calling SoFi a $7 to $8 stock, which I get why they're saying that. And they're saying that because, first of all, we haven't seen these new quarterlies. This investment that we just saw, it hasn't kicked in yet. And most importantly, the rate cuts haven't happened entirely yet. Like all of them. We're talking about like all of them where they start affecting SoFi here. And SoFi just came out with this credit card deal, this new program. So there's a lot going on with SoFi. So if you're buying SoFi, if you're buying it at $8, $9, $10, look at it holding it here just like Palantir. You're buying something that you're really gonna want to put your time into. Don't look at this as a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that if you can get in and just hold it. I think SoFi is going to be a little bit different. I think once we get into, I don't think we're going to see much happen with SoFi here until we get into next year. I could be totally wrong about that. I hope I am. But I'm personally not expecting like big double-digit numbers with SoFi until we maybe see like Q1 of next year, Q2, where we can kind of see this deal that just happened kind of step in. We see maybe another deal come out of nowhere. And on top of that, we start to see these rate cuts really start to take effect of what's been going on with SoFi too. So how is SoFi reacting to that with their customers, all this kind of stuff? What is going on? Who's the president? What's going on here? But is SoFi undervalued? Yeah, SoFi is undervalued for sure. It's undervalued. I'm buying up SoFi in another stock portfolio. I have another stock. I have a few, but I have another one where I'm just buying up SoFi, where I just have a constant buy in it, and probably when it hits $15, I'll turn it off and I won't buy it anymore. So that's kind of how I'm treating that situation. Then I have another account too. Seeing SoFi sell off today, I just look at this as opportunity. I don't look at this and go like, oh my God. I still, and this is going to make people mad, I would not be shocked to see SoFi go back down to like an $8.50 range, but I would not be shocked to see SoFi go to a $10.50, $10.80. I wouldn't be shocked at that at all. SoFi's still waiting on the market a little bit too here. SoFi's still waiting on these rate cuts. SoFi's still waiting on who's going to be president. SoFi's, and investors, I dare say investors are a little scared of SoFi. SoFi's been rough to investors the past 4 years here. This has not been a stock that's been kind to us. I mean, a lot of people have been sitting here for 4 years like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And, we could have put our money in mutual funds and got a lot more in return. So I get why people are very hesitant to trust SoFi right now. There's nothing, there's no reason you shouldn't be. So friends, I'm going to shut up now. It's late. I wish all of you best of luck in the market here. It's a fun time to be alive. It's a fun time to be an investor. What a golden age opportunity of a gold rush of a stock market we find ourselves in right now. This is just such opportunity time to put your money into amazing new companies in the world. It's so fun. I'm so addicted to this. I love it. It's better than any kind of gambling, anything like this. It's not gambling because we know these companies are just going to continue to rise. Friends, take care. Bye-bye.